Well, I'm in the Koochiching State Forest in northern Minnesota. I suppose I'm about an hour south of International Falls, and I'm putting out 3 baits today, or not putting out the baits, but actually establishing bait sites, which means preparing the sites, getting the tree stand tree ready, and cutting the shooting lanes and getting the logs cut and put them in place to put the bait in. And since I'm over 3 hours from home, I'm only going to be able to bait these about twice a week, roughly, before the season starts. So I'll probably have 5 to 6, probably 5 times the baiting before the season actually starts. And boy, it's not that hot, and there's a little breeze, fortunately. And I got a thermocell, but the mosquitoes and horseflies and deer flies are just horrendous in here. And it's pretty thick in here where I want to get these baits in. This is the first one. The next one's about 8 miles from here, and the third one is about 8 miles from that. And so they're a long ways apart on these logging roads, but mosquitoes. Anyway, let me show you what I'm doing here, and so you can kind of get the picture of what this is like. Okay, here's a couple of 6-7 foot logs that I've cut, and those are going to be covering the bait pile. That tree right there, you can kind of see there's 2 trees close together. So I'll put my stand in that one, in the near one, and then I'll have a little bit of background cover there, so I'll be well concealed by the pine trees there from the bear, which will be over here. And as you can see, I've started making the crib, and this is going to be able to hold probably 150 pounds of bait. I'm planning to bring 2 big plastic sleds full of bait out here, and fortunately I'm only probably 200 yards from the truck. I'd like to get farther away, but I'm in an area here where it's pretty well, it just doesn't get a lot of hunting pressure, so I think I'll be okay. And when I bait this, I will completely fill this thing up with a variety of different kinds of bait, and probably be about all I can haul out here in 2 loads in my big black sled. So it's there's a big swamp over there, and to the south of me here, about probably 400 yards, 300 yards, there's a big beaver pond and a beaver dam. So I'm in a good spot here, and I feel pretty good about this. We'll see as we bait along and I get the trail cameras on here and so forth, then we'll have a better feel for what our chances are. But I've finally finished the first spot. I'm about to take a GPS coordinate of this bait site and then measure the distance to the truck, and then I'll be able to record it with the DNR. But once again, right here is the stand tree, and I'll be about 18 feet up in that tree, and then I've cleared all the lanes. It's all nice and clear here now, and there's my bait crib. And as you can see, I have piled a lot of the stuff that I cut, the limbs and stuff that I trimmed, are all piled up behind the bait here, because I don't want a bear to walk in straight directly away from me. So I've made it almost impossible for him to get through there. So he's got to come in either from, there's a trail right there, it's kind of a game trail that's pretty obvious in all this moss. It's probably been used for years and years. And then he can also come in through this way, or he can come in the direction that I came in, or he can come in from over here the direction that I'm sitting. If he walks under me, that's okay. But at any rate, it looks pretty good right now. I like it. Feel really good about the spot. It's just one of those really mossy spots, and as you can see, all this moss is here because I've trimmed so much brush out of here that now all the sun's shining on it, and the moss won't do well with all that sun. But I'm in a boggy area here where a bear will feel comfortable coming in during the daylight, because he won't be too far from a good bedding spot. And so it's all trimmed up and ready to go, and that is site number 1. I probably won't record all 3 like this, but it took me about an hour to do this, and so I got to get going. It's already 1 o'clock, and I'm burning through the water and Gatorade like crazy. Well, I'm not going to be able to get to where I was going, unfortunately. I was going to go about 3 more miles north on this road, and I just barely got through this mud hole. I really thought I was going to get stuck, but I managed to get my way through it because I couldn't back up. And then I managed to get turned around up in there, and it took me 3 tries of going back and forth to get back out of it. So I'm not going to be able to get to where I'm going. I think there's one more good spot down here. About a half a mile back towards the main road, and that's what I'm going to try. But as you can see, my truck's going to need a car wash, and so thank goodness for four-wheel drive. I do kind of need new tires. They're down to about quarter tread on this, but anyway, so that's out for this year. I'll go try somewhere else.